Hey, what's up you guys? So welcome back to TKD. Today we're going to be covering side kick, right? So a side kick from the rear looks like this. A side kick from the front. And we're also going to be doing our hop step side kick. All right, so let's cover a few things real fast. A side kick does not snap at the knee. This is one of my biggest pet peeves with side kicks is I see people, they come up here, they bring this around and then they snap this out, and because the foot's flexed, they think that's a side kick, the body's in line. It's not a side kick. It came like a roundhouse kick. That is a roundhouse kick, all right? A side kick is more like a leg pressing motion, right? The knee comes to the chest. We're gonna use a lot of our quads and our glutes. If our knee is in a straight line with our body, like this, or even like this, then I'm using this extension at the knee. This is a roundhouse, all right? Point off to the side here, this is a roundhouse. I don't care that the foot is flexed, it's a roundhouse kick, all right? So a side kick, when I'm doing it from the rear, comes up and I have my head, my hip, and my heel are all gonna be in one straight line, and then I thrust out as I do this. And I'm squeezing my glutes and I'm squeezing my quads each time I do that. All right, so we're gonna start off first with a kick from the front because I think it's a little bit easier for people to learn. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring the knee up, and notice how my foot is already pointed. I'm standing in a squared position at this time, right? Both my feet are pointed to the front. I'm gonna bring my knee to my chest, and from the side it's gonna look like this. Knee to the chest, heel is in a straight line, head, hip, heel, all in one straight line. And then I'm going to rotate my bottom foot or pivot my bottom foot as I extend this out. And then I'm gonna bring it back, right? Just like that. So we're here, knee to the chest, heel is in a straight line. Notice how my toes are pointed off to the side. My toes are not pointed at my target. If my toes are pointed at my target, it's also gonna be a roundhouse kick because this foot or this knee is gonna come back as you do it, and it's gonna be predominantly knee extension, and that's not what I want, okay? So let's go ahead and let's try to rep this out a little bit. We're gonna do 1 minute on each side, starting with your dominant leg. Ready? And begin. Knee up to the chest, heel pointed to the front, rotate your bottom leg as you extend out and retract it back. Raise up, extend, bring it back and down. Notice each time that base leg pivots. It's got to point all the way away to be a good side kick. If it's pointed this way, your hip is going to stick out. It's not going to be a good side kick. Keep working as I'm talking about this stuff. Bring this knee up, extend out, and back. Now there's things that you can do with the hands, but I'm not as worried about the hands as I am about the motion and the mechanics of the kick. All right, knee to the chest. And now I really want you to focus on squeezing that glute as you do it. Your hip should turn over at this last second. Bring it up, extend out, bring it back. Bring it up, extend out, bring it back. Now notice I'm on concrete, so I'm hopping a little bit to get that pivot, and that's fine if you need that. Extend out and back, and time. All right, now we're gonna do this exact same thing on our other leg, all right? Switch your dominant leg, and if you want, you can start with the toes already pointed to the side in the squared position. I don't mind, all right? Whatever makes this one a little bit easier to get the mechanics down. 1 minute, begin. Knee up to the chest, heel pointed to the front, kick. Squeeze your glute as you do this. Knee up and kick out. Make sure that you can still see, right? One of the things I like to try to do is point my nose at my target over my shoulder. My shoulder's pointing at my target, my nose is looking over my shoulder at my target. Up and kick. If I turn too much and I can't see, well, if you can't see the target, you can't hit the target. Keep that in mind. Bring it back, thrust out, and back. Bring it in, thrust out, and back. Really try to turn your hip over at the last second. I'm here, boom, my hip turns over as I do this, and I extend that out, squeeze that glute. You should feel a little pinching in your glutes as you're doing this. If you don't, well, probably not using your glutes, probably using more of your quads, and it's not as good of a kick. Make sure you exhale on each one of these, and time. Okay, so now we're gonna do the rear leg side kick, all right? Same exact things. This time though, I'm gonna make sure that my front toes are facing towards the front. I'm going to pivot my 90 degrees for my initial pivot, and then as I kick out, I pivot again. Notice now my toes are pointed all the way away from the kick that I'm doing. You can, if you want, or if you need to at this point, kick and set it down in front, Or if you feel like you can do your side kick and you can bring it all the way back to the rear position. That's gonna be up to you. 1 minute, dominant leg, begin. If you need to break it down into your chambers, get your chamber position, heel, hip, head, all in one line, thrust it out, bring it back, and set it back behind or set it down in front, up to you. If you need to, get that chamber and kick. Now, once you feel comfortable, go all the way through with that kick, all right? Bring it up and thrust it right out. Keep going as you're doing this, but one of the main problems that I see people do is they bring this all the way around to get into this position, and then they kick it out. But when you circle the knee around, then you have to bring the momentum back in the opposite direction. So I like to bring the knee across at a 45 as I'm pivoting, and it just helps facilitate a straight line instead of bringing it around and then kicking. So keep that in mind as you're doing this. A few more seconds. Exhale on each one. And time. All right, same thing. Now go with your non-dominant leg. Ready? And begin. Bring it back if you want, set it down in front if you want. It's up to you. Make sure you see your target. I'm looking at my camera every time I'm doing this. Make sure you're using your glutes as you thrust that kick out. Don't snap the kick out. Now, when you're making contact with this, you should be kicking with your heel. The heel makes contact, not the blade of the foot, not the ball of the foot, your heel. The blade of the foot is only used in forms, not for actually kicking somebody. And I'm kind of teaching you how to kick somebody more than do the forms. All right? I think that's a little bit more important to know. About 10 more seconds. Keep it going. Make sure to rotate that hip at your last second whenever you're doing this. And time. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is actually Bruce Lee's favorite kick, right? So we're gonna do a hop step side kick. So like our previous hop step, you can just do a replacement step and throw your kick. I'm not as big of a fan of that. I like to bring this one in as this one's coming up and to move past that center, right? So if my center line's here, I want my foot going past it as I throw this kick. I don't want to just replacement step. If you need to, you can do the replacement step for now, but I would like to see you practice getting a little bit more distance with this, right? So as I'm doing my hop step, this back leg, watch what the pivoted position is for it, right? I have it pointed to the back. Maybe I have it pointed to the back 45, and that allows me to have a little bit more pivot at the last second, but a lot of time I like to land with my pivot already, all right? We're gonna do 1 minute, dominant side, begin. So hop step, and kick. Hop step back, hop step kick, and back. Hop step kick, and back. Keep this going. And skip back. Again, try to cover that distance with your hop step. We're not just doing our replacement steps. Here, bouncing and kick. Skip back fast, and kick. Keep this going. Bounce. Keep going. Exhale every time. You want to have that kick almost all the way thrusted out by the time your base leg is completely planted, right? So I don't want to go here and then pivot time, right? I don't want to hop step into it, be in my chamber position, and then kick. I want that kick starting to thrust out before this leg plants, right? So watch again. That way, shortly after that leg plants, I'm getting my full extension, and that allows me to keep the momentum from the footwork. If I go here, and then I'm just kind of pushing somebody with my foot, it's not gonna have that same thud effect that we're looking for. All right, 1 minute on the other side. Ready, set, begin. Skip back, drop it down, and skip back. I want you dropping it down in front with us each time. Drop it down in front, skip back. Keep it going. About 20 more seconds. Drop it down and back. Make sure you can see that target. And exhale every time. Keep it going. 5 seconds left. Let's get one more. And that's time. Breathe in and out. All right, guys, so today we learned our side kick. We can do it from the front leg now, we can do it from the rear leg, and a hop step. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with this, well, I didn't feel comfortable with it the first time I did it either. Go practice, right? I know we just practiced, but you might need to practice a little bit more. Again, make sure that it's a stomping motion and not a motion like this, right? The heel doesn't go back to your butt, the knee goes to your chest. That still, to this day, is one of the biggest things that I see masters in Taekwondo, titled masters in Taekwondo, who still kick like that. And, right, I don't want you to be one of those people. All right, let's kick with proper mechanics, and let's have some thud behind each one of those kicks. If you like this, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I will see you tomorrow.